Hi everybody. I am Brady Jordan. Has there ever been a point in your life where you decided to just flow through the things so that you can get whatever is done quickly? I'm sure if you asked anyone around you if they have done this, their answer will most likely be yes. This is because most people, including me, always want to find the quickest and easy way to get things done, even if it barely works. I wasted important time that I could have taken advantage of to put me over top of everybody else because I didn't do things with all my might. Today I'm going to explain the fable The Boy in the Nettles and how this ties into why I almost didn't make my UPSL soccer team. Aesop's story of the boy in the nettles is a very compact and interesting passage that has a lot of wisdom hidden inside of it. So today I'm going to tell you of how this story goes and what we are getting out of it. As retold by the website Aesop Fables, retrieved November 22nd, 2013, Aesop tells us how a young boy was stung by a nettle and later learned from his mom that he needs to grab with all his might for it to not hurt. Now imagine this. After getting stung by a nettle, you inform your mom how it stung you and how much it hurts, just for her to say you have to go back and grab it with all your might. If I was in this little boy's shoes, I wouldn't exactly be able to pull through with grabbing it again. I mean, how crazy does it sound? Having to grab it as hard as you can to keep it from stinging you. Crazy, I know. In summary, this fable tells us how this little boy needs to use all his strength when grabbing this plant to keep him from getting stung. You may be lazy or scared to give full effort. In order to not get hurt or fail, you must push through with all your strength. Now, getting into my story, I was just finishing my 8th grade year. I was a very well-rounded kid, always stayed on top of my grades, put full effort into sports, and even kept up with studying so I could hold good test grades as well. All of this seemed to change when I finally made it into high school. I started realizing I had more range to be lazy and get things done quick and easy, even if it didn't really ever work out. After continuously giving into this lazy habit, it later started affecting me in sports as well. Days that I used to put all my effort into practices changed to me barely trying and just flowing through the workouts to get it done. In this in this case, just like the fable, I wasn't really putting all my might into something I fell in love with since I was 3 years old. This caused a big problem because not only was I struggling in school soccer, I was also struggling in club soccer, which takes up a lot of money. This lazy work ethic led me to barely make my UPSL soccer team and gave me a rude awakening as to why I need to start putting the work in now. I would always come up with excuses to comfort myself and keep me from achieving my goals, not only in soccer but also in school. I would always tell myself instead I would always tell myself that I could cram all the work in before the due date or or start locking in on soccer for my last year instead of acting straight away. These excuses I made always comforted me to give into the laziness and wait till the very last minute to start at really trying to accomplish things. After hearing a little bit about the situation I was dealing with back then, you can see that my past compares with a lot of the things that are happening in the ASOP I chose. When it came to me putting no effort, or in this case, no might into soccer, was when the kid put no might into grabbing the nettle, causing him to get stung. For my story, the sting was barely making it on an important team that my parents were already paying for. So it kind of woke me up and gave me some drive to put all my might into soccer so that I could hopefully take it into a college or pro level. As explained by my Aesop fable and my personal life experiences, I realized that in order to succeed in the things I love, I needed to wake back up and start putting the work in to set myself up for the future. In other words, that tie in with the fable, when the nettle stung the boy, he had to go back and grab it with all his might. So in my personal experience, I had to realize what I was doing was lazy and start getting to work to become better than anyone else on my team. If you ever have any situation where you can take an easy route, you should never do it because just like in my story, those easy shortcuts led to constant lazy habits. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?